Hello, Golden State Warriors. Let's talk Golden State. Today we're going to do a different video, so I welcome you if you are not a Golden State fan as well. Today we're going to explain the new Emirates NBA Cup. So you're asking yourself, what is that? It was announced yesterday, a few more details and the dates. It's basically the in-season tournament that we had last year. Recapping, it was created by the NBA to put a little bit of more competition and more emotion and more involvement from players and organization in the beginning of the season, right? So we don't have that period we have seen in the past, which players are not carrying that much. You know, NBA players, they're very competitive. You don't get to that level if you're not. So it's a way that the league found to put a little bit of more interest in this beginning of the season. And I'm going to pass through all the details here with you, a few key dates. I'm going to try to show as much as possible things on the screen so you can also see what I'm showing and explaining to you. So let's start. This is the new logo that the NBA just announced. So Emirates is a new global marketing partnership that the NBA had, and that's the name that the in-season tournament is going to have this year. So the format, how it's going to work. Basically, you split both conference, all the 30 teams. They will be split in 6 groups, 3 groups for each conference, with 5 teams in each. The in-season tournament, or the Emirates NBA Cup, it will start on November 12th and goes until December 14. So December 17, sorry. So all the Tuesdays and Fridays, there will be in-season tournament, NBA Cup tournaments, right? So how does it work for a few initial rules, right? So how does it work for the regular season? All games, as last year, they count towards the regular season as well. So it's a parallel tournament which doesn't affect the regular season. If you win or if you lose, that's going to count towards your regular standing as well. So let's talk a little bit about the groups. And one quick thing to recap, if you don't remember about this in-season tournament last year, you might see, I'm going to put on the screen a few ones, is those games where we had that different court, like they had some special style in the courts for the in-season tournaments. So I particularly think some of them are really nice. You're seeing a few there. So that's when you can go back last year and understand which games were towards the in-season tournament that was actually won by the Los Angeles Lakers, right? And I do think a lot of people are not caring about this right now, but just keep in mind, I think as teams start winning this and the fans start bragging about it, like, and saying like, I won that tournament and I have 2 titles and everything, it's going to start getting more importance. So I do think it's an interesting thing. So, okay, let's talk about a few things. So the whole way, 6 groups, 8 teams advance, and there's 1 champion. Who advance? The first of each group. So 5 teams in each group, they all play against each other only once. The games, they are split like 2 games at home, 2 games away, and that's randomly selected according to the calendar. Semifinals and finals will be played in Las Vegas, December 14 and December 17. So you play 2 games at home, you play 2 games away. The best, the top 1 seed of each group advance, plus 2 wild cards. The wild cards will be the best second place across each conference, right? So you get the 3 groups, the best team that in the second position will advance as a wild card. And then they play against each other as a regular season game as well. And it's a knockout, right? So it's 1 game, whoever loses out. And then you go to semifinals and finals. Those ones are in a neutral court. It's going to be played in Las Vegas as it was last year as well. And then on December 17, we have the champion. So how do they split the groups? So let's bring to the screen here the standings of last year, because those are important. So it's 5 pots, right? When the draw, by the way, it's going to be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And they have 5 pots. They will split the teams for each conference in 5 pots of 3 teams, and that's according to the standings of last year. So, for example, let's get the West Conference that the Warriors is part of last year to break down. So when you look here, the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and sorry, I'm looking at the wrong year. Let me bring the right one for you. So when we look to the West Conference last year, you have the Thunder, Nuggets, and Timberwolves as the first three. So this will be part of pot one. Pot two will be Clippers, Mavericks, and Suns. Pot three, Lakers, Pelicans, and Kings. Pot four, Warriors, Rockets, and Jazz. And then pot five, Grizzlies, Spurs, and Trail Blazers. So that's to guarantee that, for example, Thunder, Nuggets, and Timberwolves, they won't be in the same group. So each one of them is going to be randomly drawn to a different group. And then you come to Clippers, Mavericks, and Suns. They go to a different group as well. So, for example, we could have a group that would be, let's say, Thunder, Lakers, and then, Thunder, Mavericks, Lakers, Warriors, and Grizzlies. That could be a group because you split all those spots, right? So that's how it's selected, the groups, and that's going to be randomly, and you do that for both conferences, and then they play against each other, as I said before, and that's how you select the top seeds to advance to the knockout rounds. What else is important to mention here? So I already mentioned about the court, already mentioned about the dates. There is a pricing. Obviously, they will select the most valuable player of this tournament. They will have a prize pool that's going to be allocated to players and to teams according to how it goes, and that's not fully defined yet. So there's a few interesting things about this tournament, and more important, as I said, is to keep the emotion and keep the involvement engaging in the beginning of the season, which you know has been a problem for a few years. So we start on November 12th, and that goes until December 17th. Is that usually that period of the league that is not that many people are interested. There are tickets already available, so you can buy that already if you're interested for all the games and also for the finals. And again, we will come up with the results of the draw tonight at 7 p.m. And those games will count. The name that they're giving for the game night is Cup Nights, and that's to obviously relate with the Emirates sponsorship. So I believe that's it. I hope it's clear for you how this is going to work. I'll share in our community tab later the drawing and how it stands. Obviously, I'm going to cheer for the Warriors to win this. Want to win everything that is possible. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day. Bye.